If you're looking for a cam that checks off every single feature box on the list, look no further. Just check this thing out. It's got a 42.4 megapixel sensor, ISO's crazy up to 256,399 autofocus shots, 4K video. The list goes on and on. Coming from a Micro Four Thirds system, this was my first full frame camera, and I have fallen in love with the crazy depth of field that this thing can produce. It also has 5-axis image stabilization built into the sensor. That means you can get nice, silky smooth video, and it's great for low light shots as the camera won't shake around too much. The lens which I decided to go with was a pricey option. It was the Zeiss Distagon 35mm 1.4. I could have gone for a cheaper manual option for video like a Rokinon lens, but I thought to myself I wanted to use this camera when I was on the go, while I was traveling, take some pictures with it, so I wanted an autofocus feature, and I have not been disappointed with this thing. Produces such crisp shots, even silkier video. I could not be happier with my lens choice. There are a couple things which I'll talk about which I'm not too fond of. The first one I'm sure you've heard everywhere is the battery life. The batteries drain extremely quickly. Just keep that in mind. That's why Sony included 2 in the box, but you are sacrificing the larger battery for a smaller form factor in terms of the camera. Just make sure you keep a couple extra in your backpack, or you can always get the battery grip. Second off, which is the menu system, and I'm sure most of you have heard this before. Again, it isn't the most intuitive, takes a bit of time to get used to, but once again, these things aren't really a deal breaker to me. Maybe something that I really miss for my GH4 is the articulating screen and having a touch screen for touch to focus, but it still has nice features like zebra and peaking, which you'd expect out of a higher end video cam. Another big reason why I chose this over the A7S2 was the Super 35 crop mode. This essentially gives you a APS-C size crop for each effective focal length. Now my 35mm is an effective 52mm, giving all of my primes 2 different focal ranges. And the thing that I'm falling in love with most by far is the 5-axis image stabilization. This shot is completely handheld, completely usable. I'm just really looking forward to using this camera more as the channel keeps on growing. I think the next lens which I will invest in is the 16-35, but once again that thing is $1,400, so this thing is not a cheap option, but if you can afford it, you won't be disappointed.